Welcome to this video, which is about Act 4, Scene 1 of Hamlet. Gertrude really seemed like she was moving over to Team Hamlet at the end of Act 3, but in the first scene of Act 4, the first thing she does is snitch to the king, telling him that Hamlet's gone crazy and explaining how his madness led him to stab Polonius through the tapestry. Maybe all the contrite sentiments she expressed to Hamlet were just a ploy to get him to leave her alone. Or maybe she knows that Hamlet's murder of Polonius will unavoidably become public knowledge anyway, so what she says to Claudius is intended to protect Hamlet. Gertrude remains a mystery to the end. Claudius immediately perceives that Hamlet's murder of Polonius was a symbolic attack on himself, and that Hamlet is so crazy that it's Claudius's duty as king to protect his people from Hamlet's increasingly violent unpredictability. Claudius also says something interesting here that is rarely discussed. He says that he was reluctant to acknowledge Hamlet's craziness because he loved him so much. He goes on to say that ignoring Hamlet's madness is like a sick person who doesn't want to acknowledge that they're sick, so the disease festers and worsens. This is interesting because Hamlet can indeed be thought of as a kind of infection in the political body of Elsinore, spreading guilt and shame and death in a way that will eventually prove to be fatal to host and vector alike. Gertrude also implies that Hamlet expresses sincere remorse for having killed Polonius, but there is nothing in anything Hamlet says in the play to support Gertrude's characterization. Maybe this is an example of Gertrude trying to protect her son by making him seem like he's more in touch with reality than he actually seems to be. Claudius goes into crisis management mode, making sure first and foremost to protect his own position and make it clear to everyone that he is not to blame for Polonius's death, and that the person who is to blame will face appropriate consequences.